What's poppin', people? It's your boy Loco Lou, and it's another episode of Cigars and Ash. And you know I can't do this by myself because it's not a one-man band. This is a three-man crew. Got to my left, the one and only Keith Adventures.
Keith Adventures in the house.
And then right across from me is Big John Joey.
Yo.
I'm
AKA
just saying.
Jack Black. But Jack Black.
Jack Black stunt double.
Exactly. You know, I heard about those Diddy parties, bro. Like,
No. I'm gonna have scars, more scars than I have now.
From the Diddy party?
No.
oh my God. It was just too perfect. He just burnt the crap out of himself.
So,
mentioning that stuff.
Don't burn yourself and end up like our favorite stalker on Elm Street.
Speaking of which,
What, Steve?
No. That's no. He said stalker on Elm Street. That's
scary. Not Scary Terry.
not scary Terry. No. We're talking about Freddy Krueger.
Freddy Krueger.
So being that it's October, we're gonna be talking about some horror movies, some horror flicks that we like. What type of horror flicks that we like? And we're gonna rank them.
We're gonna rank them. We're gonna try to get as much as we can in there. There's so many.
And this is the perfect month to do it in because we did the comic book trivia last episode, right? What was the name of the game, Joey?
It was brought to you by actually.
As in actually.
Actually.
Correct.
So that's going to be that was last episode. So this episode we're going to start with Halloween horror stuff and talk more about the genres, how it changed everything, the big, what is it, big 5, big 3, 6, how many main horror guys we got from Universal.
From Universal?
From Universal.
Yeah, because they're the ones who pioneer Halloween, if you want to get technical.
So based on the classics, those are like...
Yeah, we're talking about Dracula, Mummy, Frankenstein,
Mummy, Frankenstein.
Bride of Frankenstein, if you want to get technical. But it's still
if you want to put her in there, the werewolf.
Werewolf by Night, Creature of the Black Lagoon.
And Invisible Man.
And Phantom of the Opera. Can't forget that.
Phantom?
Yep, Phantom of the Opera.
I don't remember him being... there you go. I don't remember him being a Universal monster.
Let's see, the Universal Monsters list from 1923 to 1960.
Gee.
Wow. So Dracula, Frankenstein, Mummy, Wolfman, Monster Mash, where 13 movies where Frankenstein meets Dracula and meets Wolfman. Wow, there's a lot.
Yep.
Yeah, but the core that they always show is Dracula, obviously.
Right, and then all the spin-offs.
Yeah.
And then we have everybody's favorite kid movie.
So Dracula, Frankenstein's monster, The Bride of Frankenstein, The Mummy, The Wolfman, Phantom of the Opera, Invisible Man, Creature from Black Lagoon. So that's one.
See, I know my shit.
Opera.
I know my shit.
4,
I thought that was just a play.
Nah,
5,
it's not just a play.
6, 7, 8.
So we were right in the first naming of the listing. So that will be that. So that's going to be the topic of the day. But this is Cigar and Ash. We have the smoke of the day, and the smoke of the day looks like it's a diamond crowned Julius Caesar.
Yeah, it's Julius Caesar's by J.C. Newman Cigars. And this one here is a medium to full cigar.
That's what she said.
All right, the country's DR.
Que lo que?
The wrapper is the Ecuador Habano. And this one that we're smoking is the Toro.
Toro.
Shout out to J.C. Newman. They're in Tampa. Hopefully everybody in the Florida area is okay.
Yes.
And once this all settles down, if you're in the Tampa area, you can visit their factory and do a walking tour of the whole operation. So check them out, J.C. Newman Cigars.
That'd be amazing. I want to do that. Go to a cigar factory. We always go to a beer place.
That's right.
Yeah.
So let's talk about our favorite monsters. Okay. So let's go to the. We're gonna go classic monsters. Dracula's on the top of the list. Now,
Dracula for you?
well, no, I'm just going by what was listed. But,
Okay.
You know, and then obviously we have the new classics, which are Friday the 13th, Texas
Michael
Chainsaw
Myers, all that.
Halloween,
Chucky.
Yeah, the modern core.
right?
Modern horror.
Some horror.
Yeah.
The modern core. They're the ones. Well, they'll be considered classic now,
Right,
because it's like 40 years ago.
Jesus Christ.
Yeah, man. 1984, 85. And Jason's a little bit further down.
Jason's further down. He was like
not Jason.
What, you mean Michael Myers?
No, not Jason. Friday the 13th.
Friday the 13th.
Because the trivia is.
Yeah, I got you. Go
The
ahead.
trivia is
Right.
That's a bit of trivia. Jason Voorhees was not the main killer in the first Friday the 13th.
No, it was premarital sex.
It was. It was his mother.
It was Mama Dearest.
Now that we know that, and we all know that, when was the only other time that he was not the main villain of Friday the 13th?
Friday the 13th 3.
Not 3.
It wasn't 3?
No.
It wasn't 3.
Wait. Okay.
That he wasn't the villain?
Yeah.
Oh, Jason versus Freddy.
No.
No. So, okay, I don't know if you're going at this as a trick question or the actual answer. So the trick question would be Jason 10 because he was cybernetically advanced. But
I like Jason 10 though.
Right. But the actual one, why am I thinking it was it the one with the fire starter? I can't remember.
No.
Okay.
Was it Jason Goes to Hell?
No, it wasn't Jason Goes to Hell. It was.
Wait, that's the one he was in
Actually,
the
no. Actually, which one was it?
See, he brings up the question, and we're waiting for the answer.
No, because
No, I'm waiting for you to figure it out.
Okay, so one of the movies, I can't remember which one, was how they talked about it's not Jason himself, it's an evil that possessed his body, and it goes from person to person.
No. Somebody dressed up as him.
But the one that dressed up was it 4?
So you have 4 of this final chapter.
Right.
All right.
Also, was 4, not 3.
It wasn't 4.
It wasn't
4 is the final chapter. It was 5.
Okay.
So 4. Remember, he was killed.
But wait,
by Tommy, little Tommy.
But isn't that Jason Goes to Hell?
No, Jason Goes to Hell is way later than that.
So what number in the line is that?
This is 4. 5.
Yeah, but Jason Goes to Hell is in the numerology, is it not?
No, it's not. But it's the ninth. It's the 9th film.
Okay, it's the 9th film. Okay.
Yeah, but it's not it. It was A New Beginning. Jason 5, A New Beginning. Now, you remember Tommy's a little older.
Yeah.
And he got sent to that camp where kids with issues.
Yeah.
He's still making masks.
Yeah.
And there's a fat kid that eats candy.
Yeah.
And he's like little.
We all eat candy as fat kids.
Yeah, but he's a little, he's strange. He's like, like he acts kiddish or whatever.
Yeah.
And then there was a guy there, and he kept offering the guy candy. And the guy went and killed him. Took an axe and split him. One death that wasn't Jason at all, or Jason related, was that one. That's how it starts off. The movie starts off.
Okay.
That guy kills him, gets arrested. 2 coroners come, get the body, put it away, and then all of a sudden Jason comes back. Right? Now the whole thing is that movie, that wasn't Jason Voorhees. That was the guy's father, the kid's father that was killed, and he came back. He went nuts and started killing everybody.
Huh.
That's dude. It's a whole new hockey mask wearing killer. It was not Jason Voorhees.
So it wasn't Casey Jones.
Nor Casey Jones.
No, Casey
it wasn't.
Jones.
It wasn't Casey Jones on a bad day.
No, it wasn't.
So and that was back
man.
in the 80s, man. That was part 5, and we're looking at part 5 in 1985. So imagine we're talking when we talk about the new school of horror, and they're really the old school horror, the new old school horror.
The new old school. That's a weird term. The new old school.
Like new old stock.
When it comes
like
to horror,
the new
man.
classic.
Right.
That's
New
what it is.
classics.
It's the new classic. It's the new classic.
Because in the same vein, we got Halloween with Mike Myers,
Correct.
and there was a movie called Halloween
H2O.
that Mike Myers did not star in.
That's right.
Hmm.
The Rob Zombie one.
Yes.
No,
Okay, wait, which one?
it. You want to know? Just
Yeah.
give up.
Yeah,
Give it?
yeah.
The curse. Was it the curse of Michael Myers?
No,
It wasn't
had nothing to do with Mike Myers.
Huh?
Had nothing to do with Mike Myers.
So
Wasn't that Halloween too?
No.
No, close though. No,
It's chronologically it's known as 1, 2, 4. 3 was the one.
it was 3.
Yes.
Halloween
okay.
3, Season of the Witch, where it was
Season of the Witch.
witches created a mask that they were giving out, and when the kids wore it, they watched a certain cartoon. Their heads would just implode with bugs and all. It was and guy had to stop it and all that. But that was a Halloween that had nothing to do with Michael Myers.
That's right.
And they wanted Halloween to be an anthology, but Michael Myers was too popular. They brought him back.
I thought that would have been good to make Halloween an anthology, and just kept it like that, and then just
Different Halloween stories.
Yeah, different Halloween stories, and just made Michael Myers its own subline, like the return of Michael Myers, the continuation of Michael Myers, the rebirth of Michael Myers,
The rebirth.
the rebirth. Yeah, the rebirth. Why is he
becomes
reborn?
Christian again.
Yeah, exactly. He got baptized in blood.
No, well, he becomes Jehovah's Witness because all he does is walk around and knock on people's doors.
Walk around and knock on doors. See, one of my favorite ones is Freddy.
Yeah.
Freddy Krueger. Oh my God! And the reason why is because this guy had such a creative way to kill you in your dreams, and I think a lot of people were terrified with Johnny Depp's death in I think that was what, Freddy 3, Freddy 2.
Johnny Depp.
Johnny
That
Depp.
was the first one.
That was the first one.
Yeah.
So it was in the pillow. It was in the bed. It was a water bed. He got him. It was crazy. But dude, nothing beats the freaking TV. Sorry, like you're in the insane asylum. Your arms stretched out. You get
Yeah.
pulled. You suck you into the TV. Like give me a hug.
You know, yeah. Creatively, I think, like visually, yeah. Nothing can beat
Freddy
Krueger.
Mm-hmm.
You know, Nightmare on Elm Street. I mean,
They had the liberty of being creative because they were dreams.
right.
Yeah.
So you could do anything in a
Right.
dream.
The dream world, but I mean, you know, his delivery, his punchlines,
his cadence.
you know, oh my God.
But he got like jokier as the movie
He
went
got
on.
goofier as
the series went on.
But that's because it's in his nature to be the quote unquote comedic
I'm not,
bad guy.
I'm not complaining.
I know I'm not complaining
but
either.
it's the evolution that he went through.
Yeah, but it's almost the same with Chucky.
Yeah, Chucky. Oh my God.
Oh, definitely Chucky.
Charles Lee Ray.
Look for Nightmare on Elm Street.
Whatever he says.
A day
had
do
the
we
medallion.
Give me the
Yeah.
power, I beg
Yeah,
of
he
you.
says a day do we Dembella.
I'll show you the medallion. It's in my car.
You got the medallion?
It's in my car. I'll have to show it to you. But the thing about Nightmare on Elm Street, the first one, the scariest thing was when he ran his claws against the pipes.
Yes.
Or
clank, 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 clank,
clank,
clank.
clank. The scratching.
and the fencing.
Oh yeah.
It's just when he did that in the first movie, that's when you knew, oh my God, it's, she's out in there. Who's there?
Yeah,
And then
yeah.
her boyfriend pops out, and then he had a rake, a little small rake in his hand. He was doing it, but then, like later on in her dream, Freddy adapts it. Yeah, and then he has the long arms. It's the long arms.
Oh my God, the long arms stretching out.
It's just Shadow with the long arms.
And then the other one who has drug addiction and his fingers become the needles.
Yes.
That one's messed up.
Was that Dream Warriors?
That's that's iconic, man.
Yes.
Yeah, and then of course
With Freddy's daughter.
the number 4, which is Chucky or Charles Lee Ray.
Oh my God, Charles Lee Ray.
I mean, it did get he did get sillier.
Played and voiced by Brad Dourif.
With excuse me, he did get sillier, like with
Over the
Chucky's
time.
Bride.
Yeah,
and,
Bride
the
of Chucky,
Son.
Seed of Chucky.
But then they went back to being more serious with the Cult of Chucky.
Yes, the
And
Cult of
Beyond?
Yes, and the new the new series, right?
The new series is just playing Chucky.
Canceled.
and they got canceled, right?
Yeah, people were upset. They're upset that they canceled that show. But it was so good.
Still haven't seen it, but it's so much I gotta catch up on. But
in the show, he's a bit silly, but it's more.
It's more take me seriously. Like don't take what I say to heart as lightness, because I'm going to go for you, kind of thing.
Yeah. So,
I like characters like that. They a little morbid in that nature. And oh my God, don't get me started with Andy.
Andy grew up to be a Chucky hunter.
A Chucky hunter, yep.
And I say Chucky
got his head in the safe.
But it's more of a good guy hunter. That's the name of the doll.
Right.
Good guy.
He's hunting good guys. So back to the cigar though for a moment, because obviously this Cigars Ash, and the last couple of podcasts we were smoking Olivas, and what do you guys think about this particular cigar? Because it's a little light for me.
So it's a medium full cigar too.
Yeah, I'm used to the dark roasts.
Yeah, but this was a favorite of my father's.
Mm-hmm.
So I kind of it wasn't my humidor, so I could take 3. It's my humidor. But no, I had a couple of them and I enjoyed it. I like it. It's one of his favorites. And when they don't have it, he gets pissed off.
No, but I'm just saying it's a light.
Yeah, dude.
It's a light cigar. That's what
I don't know what to smoke. I kind of turned them on to the EP Carrillo, the Encore.
Okay.
But they're smaller.
Okay.
But he actually loved that one. He was like, I really like this one. I was like, there you go. Now you have a backup cigar.
Yeah.
Nice.
I was like, yeah, you gotta go to some of that. You gotta expand.
Yeah. I mean, I got a
ones.
couple of backups, like the lighter ones. Like I got into some Perdomos, the 10th anniversary, the Champagne, whatever you call it. The Camachos. I keep a few of them in the humidor. But yeah, there's celebration cigars, there's weekend cigars, and there's I just want a cigar.
Yeah, the budget cigars are just doing work around the house cigars.
Yeah, right.
Doing work around the house, not in the house.
The yard work cigars.
Yeah.
Yeah, the yard work cigars. In other words, I'll say that it's yard work cigars.
Yeah.
So listen, with classic monsters and what we call the modern classics, I really like horror movies. I like horror movies just as much as I like comedies and action, but it's so hard to, because all the things that we already look for, the jump scares, the creativity of the kill, on-screen violence, it's so hard to keep it fresh. Like you can predict with the music, something's gonna happen now, right? But what I like is when they reimagine the story.
Oh man.
So for better or for worse, right? Like let's talk. I'm going to talk about Dracula. Okay. So Dracula, obviously Bela Lugosi, everything. The classics has been done 50 times. I'm just going to dare and say 50 times. There is one movie. It's considered old school now because it was in the 2000s, the aughts. Turn of the century, but it was Dracula 2000. Okay, it had Omar Epps, I think it was Jennifer Esposito, a few other people.
Vitamin C. Yeah, the singer. I don't know. People probably could be like, Vitamin C. What the fuck are you talking about?
Yeah.
The singer, Vitamin C. She had that red orange hair.
Not the drink, right?
No, man. I was. She was hot. I was like, that's one reason I remember.
Oh man.
So I just remember.
So think of all the the common things we know about Dracula that are his part of his lore, right? They can't see his reflection.
Yeah.
Can't be in the sun. It's allergic to silver,
Garlic.
Yeah.
A wooden stake to the heart.
Right. What I would thought was very interesting in that story, and if you haven't watched it, it's definitely worth a watch. Okay. I'm going to save the spoiler for afterwards, maybe for the Instagram, if you watch the Instagram. But watch it because there's a very interesting twist about his origin.
You could say it's biblical.
It's biblical, but who he actually is.
Who he is, yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
You know, it's the same as, you know, for
Brian.
Right.
Yeah.
For the life of Brian. Right. You know, it was the waiter from the Last Supper. He never got tipped.
Yeah.
He got mad.
He got mad, and that's why he's, you know, silver is a problem for him, right?
Yeah, silver's a problem for him, for real.
Yeah, but it's along the same lines, biblical in sense of, you know, whether you like it or not, Van Helsing, where they were where they were both the archangels.
Yes,
right.
One was Gabriel,
and one was Michael.
Yeah.
Right.
And matter of fact, I bought the DVD recently. I had to buy the DVD, bro. I had to buy the DVD recently because I didn't want to pay extra for limited time ordering. I gotta get the physical copies, so I got it in 4K and I watched it with the family. And the pacing was pretty fast. There's a lot of rushing in Van Helsing, right? But the actual movie was really good. It has one of my favorite styles of how a werewolf should be. They look almost primate at the same time they're, you know, wolfish. So they have that Bigfoot vibe with the wolf head. So I love that style of a werewolf versus, you know, the Werewolf by Night where he looks more man than wolf. Or ones that like Twilight where they turn into an actual dire wolf.
What about the Lycans from
Underworld?
Underworld.
I don't like the way the Underworld Lycans look like because to me they look too much like sleepers. The cat people. Yeah, they look too much like that because they don't have that much fur. You know, and that's another movie that they didn't do no sequels to or anything like that. That it's under the radar movie, Sleepers. But one that I watched with my wife and my daughter recently was Dracula Untold.
Okay.
And that one is about, you know, Vlad the Impaler, who
which the legend is based on.
Exactly. And how he basically he makes a deal with the Dark One, who's essentially his own master is the devil. So he is the descendant of that particular individual, which would possibly be considered Nosferatu in that sense. Just based on how he looked and how he portrayed himself. But it was a good story. It was a love story, and it was also a story of sacrifice. You know what I mean? So it was crazy. He built a whole army of vampires just to kill all the army of vampires. Oh, wow. Which is dope. But it's dope because it takes place in that era where he first becomes Dracula. So you see the transition and you see what he's trying to do to not lose his humanity, and then he sees that he's losing the power and he wants to save his loved ones, and it becomes a love story, a tragic love story versus what we know from the Bela Lugosi's and all the other stuff.
To Dracula.
The actual Dracula, right?
No, to the movie Dracula.
Right.
Yeah, it's like a prequel to Dracula, which is
it's his making and how he became who he is, and then he gets the castle, and then from there you can actually watch Dracula, and it'll almost be like a continuation.
Yes. One of my favorite adaptations of Dracula is actually not a movie or a series in the sense of a cartoon. It's an anime. So it's Castlevania.
Okay.
And I like Castlevania because it shows him also in that same tragic light, being the Prince of Darkness and all that other stuff, and having a traveling castle, legitimately a traveling castle. And at one moment in time, he felt weak, into love, fell in love with a woman. They had a child, and child is named Alucard. And for those who don't know Alucard, that is Dracula backwards.
That's right.
And basically,
wait, it is?
Yes, it is.
I just had to do that, man.
So if you guys ever played the game Castlevania, you know about the Bloodline family that are dedicated to kill Dracula. That's also in Van Helsing.
Right.
Um,
Conveniently named Van Helsing.
Van Helsing.
no, not Van Helsing. There's another name. There's another family.
Van Wilder?
No, no.
They partied with vampires. They didn't kill him.
Yeah, but whatchamacallit, the entire series I enjoy it because he comes out every so often to protect humanity from these darker entities, even though he has to feast once in a while. So you see a guy doing messed up things, I'm gonna have me a little late night snack.
Sounds like Blade.
Pretty much.
That's right.
Well, I could go on and on about that reaction to everybody from Deadpool and Wolverine, bro, because that had everybody going. It kept getting me surprised. I was like, yes, I know he's in it. Let's go.
Good day, Walker.
And they found a new director there, I heard, for the new movie.
They can never keep a director.
Probably they found a new one. They just recently announced they found a new one.
Yeah,
I don't know,
the fifth
man.
one.
This is gonna be, it's gonna be perpetual. I think the irony of it is that this movie is gonna end up in development hell, like
Spawn.
like the Gambit movie.
What Gambit movie?
Exactly, and that's why he also was like, I don't know, I was like I was born here in the void.
Yeah, but you know what? That's the point of that character. But
real quick, just I want to ask a question to see what it is. What turned you on to horror? What was the first movie you remember watching where you went, it's scary, spooky, but you go, I like this.
Shit.
Like, what turned you on?
It sure as shit wasn't when I was a kid because they scared the crap out of me.
It would have to be Night of the Living Dead or my dad. Zombie movie.
Okay.
Taking my stories, man. I told them that.
Listen.
But funny enough, I did watch 9/11 Day with my dad, but that wasn't the movie that turned me on to horror. It was Evil Dead.
Oh yeah.
You got Evil Dead.
My dad sat me down and said, "Check out this movie that I got." And, then I watched Evil Dead, and I watched someone get stabbed in the ankle with a pencil, while the person laughed maniacally.
See.
Anyway, so that turned me on. From there, he said, "You enjoyed that?" I was like, "Yeah." So you can have nightmares? I said, "Probably." I was 9, and then he said, "I got another one for you." And that's when he turned it on, and the whole Barbara, they're gonna get you.
That's right.
They're horny.
Yeah.
No, Night of the Living Dead.
Night of the Living Dead.
Where her brother goes, Barbara. And she goes, "Oh my god."
No.
He goes, "See that guy over there?" They see a guy walking.
Yeah.
He's like, "Oh, Barbara." And he's like, "They're horny. They need you." And it turned out to be a zombie.
Yeah.
The modern walking zombie.
Like when I first got into horror, it was Night of the Living Dead 2. Actually, it wasn't the first one. It was the second one, and
which was a retelling and then a continuation.
Bingo.
Which is weird.
Now here's a part that I will always remember. It's the boyfriend and girlfriend in the church, and it's like, brains, I should eat your brains. I'm the one who loves you.
So that's not Night of the Living Dead.
Which one is that one?
That's Return of the Living Dead.
Return of the Living Dead. Why did I think it was 2?
That was someone that worked with George Romero. Okay. The godfather of the zombie. The zombie genre. And then he went ahead and split off and made his own movies, which were the Return of the Living Dead movies.
Why did I think that was 2? Oh my god. So
no, because you probably saw 2.
Yeah, I saw 2
with the undead Michael Jackson.
Yes, with the undead Michael Jackson. But also,
dude,
they put brain traps on the bridge and electrocuted everyone.
God, yes,
it's because those zombies, unlike Romero zombies, could take a shot to the head and continue going.
That's right.
You couldn't kill them with a shot to the head, and the only way was through electrocution, and that's how you can kill them. And the Romero zombie, they never really explain what happened.
Right, what it originated.
For Land of the Dead, they never explained what happened, how the zombies came around.
Yeah.
But in Return of the Living Dead, they do.
The toxic waste.
It wasn't
sludge.
toxic waste. It was a
sludge.
chemical.
Yeah, it was a chemical. I remember that sludge zombie. Oh my god.
That's the iconic zombie. The sludge zombie.
Trick or Treat Studios did a 1/6 scale version of that figure, and it wasn't worth what they were asking for, but it looks cool as shit.
So the chemical was 2,4,5 trioxin.
Trioxin.
It was military,
Those bastards.
and for two, a barrel fell into a creek where the boys were playing, and
Yes.
one of the boys
Yes.
opened it and got sprayed right in the face.
Uh-huh.
Yes, I remember
And
it. Yes.
he became a zombie because he breathed it in. And they continued that. They had Return of the Living Dead 3, 4. They had a bunch of Return of the Living Dead. They had Necropolis, something like that. Or something.
Necropolis?
Necropolis.
Yeah.
And a whole bunch of. Thank you, Keith, for correcting me.
Yeah.
And no, I'm not being sarcastic.
I sometimes say words right.
So they had a whole line, and it all
Linguistics
had
matter.
to do with that gas. One of them, the gas was brought into the public as a drug, as a party drug.
No. Man.
There was one where you actually saw how they used it in the military because they wanted a weapon, and they were releasing the gas.
I
And
can neither
studying
confirm nor deny that movies are propaganda for the truth.
You never know.
Now Living Dead was a political statement. And then he created Dawn, and then Day, and then they continued with Island and Diary, and it's all of the Dead. So of the Dead movies are usually all Romero movies. They're coming out with one more, his daughter.
His daughter, yeah.
So they should continue the Dead series.
So yeah, so Halloween came out in '78. So it's the same year as Dawn of the Dead. So what we consider modern, current classics.
Yeah, current classics.
No,
Right.
not current.
Well, not current.
The
new
new
classics.
old classic.
The
Right,
new
old new
classics.
classics.
Right,
The new classics.
The Turner Classic Movie horror movies of the '70s.
There you go.
Right, of when we grew up. Right.
When we grew up, yes.
Yeah.
So
let's
that's what
see.
you're looking at.
So
Amityville Horror was 1979. Dracula, whichever one, I don't know, remember which one. It came out in '79 also. That's the one where Frank Langella and Lawrence Oliver as Van Helsing. Then Phantasm, Prophecy, Salem's Lot, which was a TV show. That's the one. Phantasm.
Phantasm, right?
Okay. So for me, the horror movie that I enjoy watching.
wait, which was the one that got you into it?
That's what I'm trying to think of right now.
Okay.
It's a tie between Friday the 13th and Halloween.
Which one you saw first? That's the real question.
You know what? Honestly, I can't even pinpoint it. But you know what? I think being in the hood, we were like, okay, well, we're not at Crystal Lake and we don't have white picket fences. So Michael Myers is not going to visit me in my white picket fence hood apartment. And Jason Voorhees is not going to come from Crystal Lake to New York, although he did.
He actually did later on.
And knock the homeboy's head off on the rooftop.
Yeah, come on, give me your best shot.
Give me your best shot. Okay.
It just rolled off the roof.
Yeah, no, I mean, I can't think of anything that specifically stands out. I mean, there's some that are like which are more like thrillers that like Poltergeist. Like I think of iconic scenes of like the scene where the guy's walking down the stairs and it's just the street lights and it's not fully lit. Like I see pictures in my head of things like that.
Okay. All right. So here's a question for both of you guys. Have you ever seen all the Universal monsters in black and white? All of them.
No.
I have.
In the same movie or like
In general.
In general, like
you
actually
just
sat down and watched them.
Yeah.
I watched like the 1920 something Nosferatu, the German
I
film.
seen that one, the one that's in silent. I seen the silent film. Yeah. But I seen all of them, and I seen it with my dad. It was one Halloween, month of the year, and we were on a marathon. So, you know, everything on Cartoon Network was doing their Halloween bashes and whatever and whatnot. But at night, I always have a hard time sleeping. So on the weekend, me and my dad would watch movies. So we watched Werewolf by Night, Creature of the Black Lagoon, Bride of Frankenstein, Frankenstein's Monster, all that, and Dracula. And then we will go down the list and watching all these black and white movies. Plus, he's the one who got me into Trek.
Okay.
So, you know, like seeing all this sci-fi stuff, it wasn't like scary for me. It was more of like, ooh, Halloween party. You know,
right.
It didn't scare me. But when we got into the new classics, like Alien, which is technically a horror film.
Yes.
Technically a horror film, even though it takes place in space and deals with aliens, it's a horror film. Chucky was one of them. Like me and my sister, we would love Friday the 13th, Nightmare on Elm Street, and Child's Play. Those were our three main ones. We liked Scream, but we didn't really dig Scream as a horror. For like, it wasn't a unstoppable bad guy. It's always somebody new, right?
Right.
It's more of wearing the costume and creating the mystery.
Well, that's in the same, you know, in the 90s, 2000s of, you know, it's like I Know What You Did Last Summer.
Oh my
Scream,
God, I forgot about that one.
You know, those type of movies that were like they were geared toward a certain audience, but it was more, you know, I'm just gonna say intelligent only because and there's nothing intelligent about the movies, but you know, but in terms of like they were like self-referencing horror movies. Like in the actual movie, they were referencing horror genre.
Almost self-aware.
Right, exactly. So
it was a new type of like subgenre for horror because it was a killer. It wasn't like an undead person.
Right.
It wasn't something supernatural, which most of the movies have been. So then it was an actual person going out, and then it was like a murder mystery.
Right.
Yeah. Oh, but not too dissimilar to Art the Clown.
See, that's we're gonna bring that up, but
You was gonna bring that up.
yeah, I was gonna bring it up when we spoke about classics, which is the
Universal.
Well, you would say silver
Screen.
silver screen.
right.
You got the silver screen
Monsters.
Then you have the modern classics, which would be Freddy and all that.
Right. 80s to 90s.
And then you have the new school, which Art is leading the way. Art the Clown. Because those movies, he started with that Halloween anthology movie, which I saw, and then he got his own series of movies, his own trilogy so far, which is Terrifier. You got one, you had two, and now three's in the theaters, making people leave sick because
I gotta burn through them.
So Art the Clown movies or Terrifier movies, you gotta watch from the anthology Halloween movie that he was in.
Okay.
It's a Halloween movie that's different stories. He's in it to see where just to see how he came to be.
It's the progression of his character, how it started.
But his line of horror is gore.
Yeah, he's gore.
Okay, so
It's supernatural.
Right. So there's a distinction I've always felt between, you know, all the different type of horror movies. There's gore, there's like murder, like
jump scare,
you know, murder. There's gore, straight out gore, just bloody and just disgusting, right? And you know what you said is like more psychological.
The suspense
ones, right? So
yeah, Hereditary was a good one.
Yeah,
that was good. It's a bit of gore, a lot of suspense.
So now let's go into our werewolf category. So, yes. What, you have something?
Yeah, of course.
Okay. You want to go with that first?
One of my favorite, well, probably my favorite werewolf movie.
Okay.
It's Werewolf of London.
Yes. That's a nice
Sorry, for people that are like, oh, but they use practical effects and that shot where they did not cut away as he turned into a werewolf was
classic.
Amazing.
That's classic.
It's amazing. It's amazing.
That kind of reminds me of another werewolf movie where you see the transformation, and that was The Company of Wolves.
I never even heard of that one.
All right, in The Company of Wolves, in the transformation, the wolf comes out of the human versus it being transformed.
Right.
It's literally ripping
off the
flesh.
But you see the mouth of the wolf come out of the mouth of the human.
Oh wow.
That was
when they turn, it's literally ripping the flesh off of their body like a costume.
Yeah. But one of my favorite ones is Dog Soldiers. It plays on that like bipedal human, a wolf dog man kind of thing. It looks like a dog man, like the way they describe it. Very humanoid, but it was dope because you have different shades and colors and stuff like that. And these are military guys hunting regular people. You know, it's crazy. Another one, American Werewolf in Paris.
Mm-hmm. And that's sort of like a sequel, not really a sequel, but it's in the line.
It's in the line of
Werewolf.
It's a reimagining. You know,
I remember that one. That one he falls in with the nurse.
Yeah, and then there's one that I wanted to see but I haven't seen. It is Wolves, and that has Jason Momoa in it. And that was in 2014. There's The Curse of the Werewolf that I've seen that's also dope. And one that's older than me, and I think you guys probably have seen, The Howling.
Yeah, of course.
So
that had a whole series of movies too.
That is crazy, The Howling.
So which remake of, let's say, because I already talked about Dracula, as far as a remake. Dracula. They're all, Eastern European trash, and they're just like, we're rich and, opulent. But which of the classic, because they've never remade, like a reimagining of Freddy or Jason or Michael Myers.
Well, they remade the movies.
Well, they remade the movies, but it was the same character, right? Like it's...
It was him.
It was him the whole time. Right.
But they had a Friday the 13th and
but there wasn't ever one that wasn't like Friday the 13th. It wasn't like, they took Jason Voorhees and just made another movie and didn't call it Friday the something, right? So, in terms of like what I said, there's Dracula 2000, and Nosferatu, like a different named movie, maybe modernized. Is there one that you can think of that you like for the other characters? Because I got
Frankenstein.
I've got 3 in mind for this particular type, and I actually 2 in mind for this particular type, and I think they're fantastic. But go ahead,
Frankenstein. They had a couple of reimaginings of Frankenstein. One was done by, I want to say, hold on, I gotta do a little backtracking into the vault. Give me a second.
There was one while you're doing that, Invisible Man, but
Chevy Chase.
No, but actually the latest one,
right?
Actually, I thought people talked about it, but I don't think it was bad at all.
So, see, that's the one I was thinking.
And it leads into the Invisible Woman,
right?
Yeah,
that's the one I was thinking of. Okay, so
because there's the one with Kevin Bacon as well.
That's the other one.
Kevin Bacon's one is
the
crazy.
Hollow Man.
Hollow Man, which is not Invisible Man, but it plays the same premise.
It's on the basis of the guy who's invisible.
Those two, Hollow Man and the newer Invisible Man, I think were beautifully done.
Oh, there's another one that's like that. That's in the same vein that you're talking about. It's called The Shape of Water. That's Creature of Black Lagoon.
Okay. Yeah.
But instead of it being in the lagoon section, it is inside.
It was weird.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
we know that it was enjoyable. But it was weird.
Oh, it is very weird
Because-
speciesism.
She's bestiality.
Bestiality.
Yeah.
But
But
he pegged
Hollow,
it good.
yeah,
That's
but
the movie I
Hollow
was thinking
Man was, I mean, Kevin Bacon, in my mind, can't do any wrong, and he just played crazy so good in that movie. And then the newer Invisible Man, like I think the suspense, that if you do the suspense right, the movie's gold.
And I mean, just the fact where he was really abusive. So he was a mad person. He was
Right.
abusive toward her.
Yeah.
And he was controlling.
Yeah, possessive, all that.
Possessive, and then he was making her think she was going crazy.
Right,
because
he gaslit her. Nobody believed her.
he would put the suit on, disappear, and that's the thing. It was technology. So
Right.
it was a suit that he put on, and he did it just to harass her,
Right.
like constantly.
Yes.
That it was fucking crazy.
Oh my God, such a good movie.
But you know what that does? That plays into the human condition of we can either be as sweet as can be, or we could be as evil as can be. Duality dwells inside us, and depending on how much quote unquote power we obtain, would also determine whether or not how we get to our darkest point. You know what I mean? And for him, being he was already like that, it just cultivated more of that.
Well, it's the narcissism, because even in Hollow Man, he would say, I do believe in God. I am God, or something like that. And it was the fact that he was invisible. From one of the, maybe the first, I think, third of the movie, when he actually changed, and he's stuck in the house and he's driving himself crazy, or he's stuck in the lab driving himself crazy, and he went to home to change of clothes and whatever, just to clear his mind. Pun intended, because he's invisible, but got stuff to, like, books and things to read, so he's not there just by himself.
Going crazy.
And then he peeks out the window, and there's a split second when he's looking out the window and he sees some lady from across the street, and then he ducks back into the room, but then he realized she can't see me. Like, it was an instinct.
Yeah.
That like, I know what I'm doing is wrong.
Yeah.
Watching, so he jerked back.
It's that human nature.
But then he realized, well, she can't really see me, and that's the moment where he turned.
Yeah, because he started becoming more and more risky with these things.
Yeah.
Until he was inside the apartment with her.
Oh man, psychologically,
It's psychological warfare right there with that. Now, going back to Frankenstein, right?
We just talked about it where you were.
Yeah, I know. Which is good, because there's not too many Invisible Man movies. Which is great. We can get to that. But Frankenstein, one of my favorite visionings for Frankenstein is actually Victor Frankenstein.
Okay.
Where Igor was played by
Igor.
Igor was played by one of our favorite magicians of Hogwarts, Harry Potter.
Really?
Yes. Oh yeah. Okay,
Yes.
I remember that. Yeah, I remember.
Yeah, so that was like in 2015. And then right before 2015, there was one that I thought that was really interesting. It's called I, Frankenstein.
Yes.
And
with Aaron Eckhart.
Aaron Eckhart, exactly. And he was basically a monster hunter.
Well, he became a monster hunter because he was left. He was in essence immortal. Like, he can get cut and things like that. He would heal as a human because it's just time. Of him healing.
But he can't really die.
But had no soul, and he just lived forever. It was perpetual.
Yeah.
Right. So he became a monster hunter because the gargoyle species that were the protectors of man, left them to roam free because he was an abomination.
Yeah.
We just did this. They just kept their peace. You keep your distance. We keep our distance.
Yeah.
Our main goal is to fight against the vampires class.
Yeah.
And you just stay out of the way. I'm so glad you brought that one up, because so many people don't
I remember.
Yeah, Loco and Keith just had a bro moment.
Yeah. There's a whole stepbrothers moment. Did we just become best friends?
Yeah.
That was, and I that's why me, I'm a psychological guy. I'm a, semi-biblical
Psychological?
person. Yeah.
Psychotic.
No, not psychotic. No. Not since these meds kicked in and the bunny rabbit stopped following me around. But to have, I like, because since we already know the stories, we know the characters, like I said, an interesting twist or origin or, just like purpose of the movie where it's like, something different to keep you engaged. That's why I like it. It's a great damn movie.
That's Frankenstein.
Yeah, there's another Frankenstein-based movie, but it takes place in modern time, and it's basically a modern take on Frankenstein, where he is trying to cope with the violence and the behavior of humanity. Therefore, his response is violence, and it came out also in 2015, which plays into that what you were saying in regards to any of these particular characters that had that re-envisioning. There's a lot of them with Frankenstein. I'll say maybe over 20 movies.
Reimagining, right?
Reimagining, yeah.
You have not to get away from Frankenstein, but we have a Dracula reimagining that we didn't mention. Fright Night.
Okay, yeah, Fright Night.
Fright Night was a good reimagining of vampires. The way they were, the way they the way the two acted. You could see them in the mirror.
Yeah.
That they did away with a lot of
the tropes.
A lot of tropes, yeah, of a vampire. Garlic. He ate garlic pizza. So stuff like that.
Yeah.
So it was a reimagining, and even the remake. Have you seen the remake of
No.
Fright Night?
Nah.
That one was crazy. The guy was hunting in the neighborhood.
But you know who gives me real Dracula vibes, and he's not Dracula? Vampire in Brooklyn. Eddie Murphy. As a vampire, he gave me straight Dracula vibes. When you think of a Dracula, you see him, you I can see him as Dracula.
That's something they were going for.
The Prince of
He was, I think that's what they were going for. It was like a hood Dracula.
Yeah, but they have funny moments, but he wasn't really necessarily
The Caribbean vampire.
Yeah, but he wasn't necessarily really funny though.
Caribbean. No, man, it have to be funny. I mean, his sidekick was funny.
His sidekick.
Right,
oh yeah, he's the ghoul.
the ghoul.
Whatever his name is.
Like me.
Yeah.
What am I supposed to do? My pinky fell off.
So you're talking about that, but a real hood vampire, Vampire in the Bronx. Was it called Vampire in the Bronx?
No.
Vampire in Brooklyn.
No. It was something in the Bronx.
Well, while we research that, talking about not having some of the tropes of vampires, we all know the Lost Boys.
Oh, Lost Boys.
Oh, yeah,
dude,
Lost
Boys was the shit, bro.
There was no aversion to garlic.
Nope.
Crosses were what? The only thing was holy water, sunlight, and the stake through the heart.
Stake through the heart. Yep.
You had to be invited in. The master vampire.
Yeah.
That's funny enough. So it's called Vampire versus the Bronx.
Oh, okay.
It's about vampires trying to take over neighborhood of the Bronx.
Yeah. I remember that.
Funny enough, because they show clips of Blade. They watch Blade in the movie. So you talk about those things where they watch another horror, but the Blade kind of a action movie. But
yeah, it was a whole neighborhood versus the vampires.
Yeah, it was these teenagers, and they were buying up the neighborhood. So they were like gentrifying. It's about gentrifying the neighborhood, but it was these vampires doing so. And a kid found out, and no one believed them, and then little by little, and then the whole out.
Fairly recent, 2020.
Really recent movie.
Yeah.
Another.
And my man Meth is in it. Method Man.
Meth is in it.
They also have
Kid Mero. Yeah.
So it was a hood movie.
Yeah,
it's a hood movie.
Actual hood movie.
Yeah, it's a hood movie, and then these vampires come into the hood. and they try to take over, and then the community gets together to defeat them. And you know, it ends with them like warning other monsters not to mess with the neighborhood.
Don't mess with the hood.
Don't mess with the Bronx.
Don't mess with the Bronx, baby. Yeah, you leave it to us New Yorkers.
But yeah, that was one I completely forgot about.
But
So
also,
speaking of New York, I want to tell you the absolutely scariest movie I've ever seen. I mean, even I didn't want to bring it up. It hurts me to think about it because I'm probably gonna have nightmares about it. Made in Manhattan. No.
God damn,
Scary.
That movie was filmed in my elementary school. You know, on my block, dude. Where I used to live.
Down the block.
PS 33. That was the school they filmed in as the outside shots.
Mm-hmm.
That was PS. I remember being around the area and having some trailers at the end of my block, and they tried closing it off, and we were like, "Get the fuck out of here! We live here." We walked right through everything. It was me and Lou, and well, not you.
Nah, I know.
Lou, my boy Lou from the Bronx.
The other Lou.
The other Lou. They were closed off. We would walk right through the scenes, and they were like, "What are you doing?" You know, and we were like, "We live here.
We live here.
Fuck off."
Right.
It was like, "You want to film in the Bronx? You're gonna get some of the Bronx."
Just one of my horrible jokes about Made in Manhattan. Jenny from the block, whatever.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. But yeah, that movie scares me.
You put it on in the dark.
You know what scares me? Some of the musicals that my wife watches. Nah, but have you guys ever seen the 2015 film Frankenstein versus the Mummy?
No.
It's good.
It's good.
It's good. It looks low budget when you look at it, right? But that's because all the budget went to the proper effects of the practical effects for both Frankenstein and the Mummy. So when the Mummy moves, he kind of moves like what you would expect a zombie to move, right? And Frankenstein legitimately is this big, tall, beefy, what you assume a decomposing, athletic individual, but the face is all like contorted and put together, and he has the look of what's in the novel from Mary Shelley, the way she described how Frankenstein looked with the long dreaded style hair.
Frankenstein's monster.
Well, Frankenstein's monster,
Right,
the creature.
He doesn't have a name.
He's known as the creature.
Right.
He's known as the creature of Frankenstein. So technically,
Frankenstein's monster.
Yeah.
That's what they have. But yeah, no, we say Frankenstein, we get it.
Yeah,
I just like throwing that little tidbit in and be like, hey,
you're
it's
like
actually
being a dick.
Not being a dick. It's a little bit of trivia.
No, to me.
It's a little bit of trivia why I'm being a dick to you.
See? You see what I'm saying?
See? Multi-purpose.
Yeah, exactly. It's not just to be rude to you.
It's not just to be rude to me, you fucker.
No,
Just the added benefit.
Then we have a classic movie with all the silver screen horror icons in it.
Yeah.
Kick them in the nards.
The Wolfman has nards.
The Nards?
It's Monster Squad.
No.
Monster Squad. It's funny enough, the monsters would fight each other, but Dracula kept them in line.
Okay.
And then he Swamp Monster.
Yeah.
No, Swamp Thing. The Swamp
Yeah.
Monster. Creature of the Black Lagoon was in it. Some guy that was freaking out because he turns to a werewolf. He didn't know why. That was the Wolfman. Wolfman didn't know why he turned to a werewolf, but he was jacked. He turned to a werewolf. He was just like, I was like, oh.
It's what you said about Dracula keep them in line. It's interesting to see that that he's a true king of horror characters.
Yeah, he's the Prince of Darkness.
Yeah, but he would be, but remember he had an issue with one monster, and that one monster actually defeated him in that movie.
Which
Frankenstein.
Movie? Oh, Frankenstein?
Yeah, we're talking about Monster
You're talking about Monster Squad. Okay,
he said that movie showed how he's the king of monsters because he kept them in line, but he couldn't control Frankenstein for some reason.
And you know what's funny? There's a toy.
And he would play the violin to try to keep Frankenstein on his side.
Yeah. So when you look at like going back to like collectibles, for a moment, there's a toy line that's out on Big Bag Toy Store, which is called Monster Force, and basically it's like this ragtag military kind of figure line, right? where you have different period pieces for the military in like Europe and United States in this line, and some are werewolves, some are vampires, some are zombies, and one of the leaders is Dracula. The other leader is King Tut, and another leader is, believe it or not, Frankenstein. And there's a all-out war, and it's a proxy war between the three. It's a crazy toy line. It's a 6-inch scale, and you can swap parts and make it like part of your Joe's or part of any of your other military lines. It's cool, but when you swap out the parts and get them going, it looks wicked crazy. It's dope. It is completely dope. But that's funny.
So you would
consider
would you consider Frankenstein, let's say the first or the silver screen zombie? He's made out of dead parts.
Yes, I would consider him.
He
the
was
first.
Reanimated, so he's undead.
Well, so is the mummy.
Hold on, no.
So is the mummy, right?
The mummy's undead.
The mummy is
the zombie.
Is the zombie. Frankenstein's creature is technically a being with personality.
I mean, there's zombies with personality.
Well, now there's zombies with personality.
I mean, as far back as Return of the Living Dead, they could speak, and they could lure people to in the first Return of the Living Dead, it was in a cemetery, and they killed. I believe was 2 ambulance, 2 EMSs, and then they took the send more call. Yeah, he called out walkie-talkie. Oh, everything okay? Hold on. It was cops. He killed cops.
Yeah.
And then they ate the cops. And then when they were like, "What's going on?" He clicked on it and said, "Send more cops." No, was that the original or was that the part 2? That might have been part 2. When they were by the hospital. I might keep getting my movies mixed up. I haven't seen them in a while.
Well, but it happens. It happens.
But they speak, and they had they were dumb and slow, but they had personality. Then you have what I think is what people loved, and I think was the most terrible movie was iZombie.
No, was it iZombie is the TV show?
No, it's TV show. I loved iZombie.
You're thinking about Warm Bodies.
Warm Bodies. Yeah.
No, iZombie was TV, but regardless, iZombie was a great TV show, and those zombies had personalities.
Yes, they did.
Because as long as they ate brain, they kept their humanity.
Yeah.
Yes.
Is when they starved, they went ahead. They went feral. They turned feral.
Yeah.
So yeah, iZombie had that, and then Warm Bodies, terrible movie. I'm sorry, people loved it, and it's a funny comedy and all.
It's a comedy.
Like, the cure to zombieism was love.
Right. You know, the cure of eating brains is love.
Is love. Really, he felt his heartbeat.
Yeah, it is love.
Rob Corddry was hilarious in that movie.
Yeah.
I love Rob Corddry.
You know what I want to see, honestly, and I haven't seen it yet, is the Dracula movie with Nicolas Cage.
The same guy from Warm Bodies, isn't it?
Isn't it?
The guy who was Renfield.
Oh, I'm not sure.
Yeah, hold on.
Oh, I've seen that. Yes, Redfield. Yeah, I've seen that movie.
Yeah, I haven't seen this one.
Yeah, I've seen it. Nick Cage was funny in that one.
Yeah,
it was the same guy that did Warm Bodies. Yeah, was Renfield or his
Nicholas Hoult. Yes.
Yeah, same guy. I think you meant director. No, same actor.
Same actor.
Yeah, same actor.
So it looks like all the New Line characters end up switching off and going into Legacy or Legendary films. Because it looks like Legendary films are the ones who are making all the horror genre.
No, it's A24.
Blumhouse.
Blumhouse has some good
I'm talking about
horror movies.
The classic. I'm talking about the classic Universal monsters. I'm just talking about the classic Universal,
so,
Mummy,
having access to their intellectual
IP.
property.
Yeah.
No, because the horror in general, Blumhouse leading the way with a lot of horror movies. That's another one, but that might be something we might have to continue.
Absolutely.
For another day. We might have to continue on. Well, it is October, so we could have multiple episodes where we just talk horror.
So, yeah, that's what I was saying.
Leave it in the comments. Check out the Instagram Cigars, the letter N, Ash. So at Cigars and Ash. Leave it in the comments or leave suggestions in the DMs. What movie genres, whether it's horror, thriller, suspense, leave us some comments, okay? Let us know.
Yeah, in the comments below, also list your top 10 horror movies.
Movies, yes. We go always look them up and talk about them.
Yes, top 10 horror movies, and we'll put it up in the next video.
Right, and I'm gonna add on to that. We're gonna prep for within the next horror episode.
Oh damn, we passed an hour.
The top 10 kills.
Ooh.
Like your favorite death scenes, kill, murder, or death.
Man, not to give a shout out, but there's a guy I follow. Mm-hmm. It's funny enough on TikTok, and he does that that's what he does. It's kill count. That's what he's called.
Kill count.
He also has a YouTube. It's called. He does kill count. So he goes to a movie. He goes through a movie and counts the kills in each movie.
Oh, yeah, I've seen it on YouTube, but there's a guy who does that too.
Yeah.
They do the.
It's him and his wife.
They did that
we got married a couple years ago.
What was it? John Wick.
He doesn't only do horror, but he does a lot of horror movies.
He did
most of his horror movies. Yeah, he does anything that has a kill count, and he counts to see how many bodies were in the movie.
Mm-hmm.
So he does, and it's cool because he goes through the whole movie and shows you where this guy's dead, so this counts.
That's right.
So that's cool. I had a couple interaction with him and talking about horror movies and everything. It was cool. But yeah,
so we'll be back for our kill count and our top 10 list on the next episode.
Yeah, we're definitely going to be doing that next episode. So with that being said, we got Joey.
Yep. It's me.
Keith Adventures.
Keith on the street. Keith Adventures.
Or Keith on the street. And I'm your boy Loco Lou. This is Cigars and Ash signing out, and remind you, keep lighting, puff, and take a sip of your favorite drink. Peace.